It's the penultimate day of the PCA main event. The final table is within touching distance, and the remaining 11 players are fighting for every pot.
All in.
Oh my goodness.
All in.
All in. All in. Crazy show now.
Wow, what is happening right now? The players at my table have been battling pretty hard.
It's a crazy game.
Everybody is a world-class player.
With such a small field, there's nowhere to hide.
I'm not thinking about avoiding anyone, but I think I have some insights in some of them.
At some point you have to get involved.
That's when the stakes are going to be higher.
And with millions of dollars on the line, every decision is critical.
Making the final six would be a dream come true, so gonna do all I can to make that happen.
The PCA trophy is amazing. I looked at it a few times. I already know right where I'm gonna put it whenever I win.
David beat Goliath. Gale and Hall will lift the trophy.
It's a heart, and that means it's over. Watson wins the Bahamas.
Dominic Panker has done it.
Really sick start to this kid's career.
Bang, 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 bang. Maria Lampropoulou is the PCA champion. Elke wins the main event. Another year, another trophy.
Call him Mr. PCA.
DeBella calls and that's it. He will take the PCA title.
The PCA is back.
Hello once again. Welcome to the Bahamas and the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure 2023. I'm James Hartigan alongside Joe Stapleton.
Hello, my babies.
And we are midway through day 5 of the main event. 11 players remain, but only 6 will return tomorrow for a shot at a 7-figure payday and the honor of lifting the PCA trophy. Before we get to that, let's remind ourselves of what happened last time. 16 players took their seats at the start of the day, with the biggest stack belonging to Dattani. He was in a prime position to extend that chip lead, but a 3-outer
Ace on the turn, gross.
saw Canadian pro Alex Raymond catapult to the top of the leaderboard. Up on the main stage, former PCA finalist Jonathan Little assumed the role of table captain.
Okay.
But didn't play every hand perfectly.
It's embarrassing. Everyone's gonna see it. They're gonna think, what a terrible call.
And one-time chip leader Sergi Reitzak couldn't get anything going, eventually falling in 12th place at the hands of Chris Chick. Well, Chick comes into the session second in chips with just shy of 3.5 million. Only 3 big blinds behind chip leader Alex Raymond. Jamil Wakil, Artem Martirosian, Jonathan Little and Dattani all have more than 50 big blinds each. And these are the other 5 stacks. Mitchell Halverson just above 2 million. The shortest stack belongs to Taylor Poor, but his 20 big blinds don't put him in the danger zone just yet. While we're almost ready to get the action restarted, the players are returning from break. There's Jamil Wakil walking in with his friend Daniel Dvoris. Jamil's going to be up on the main stage, which is headlined by these 2 crushers. A man with fond PCA memories, Jonathan Little.
Okay.
And an EPT champion, Artem Martirosian. The Russian pro is already an established online high roller. The victory in Sochi 2021 was his first major live title.
EPT was a special one. When I won it, I was very good player already and I felt very confident and it was easy for me.
Jonathan Little burst onto the live poker scene back in 2007 with a 5th place finish in the PCA main event, a result that kick-started his career.
Yeah, I love playing in the Bahamas. It's a great place. That tournament gave me a nice bankroll to continue playing high-stakes tournaments, and that gave me some ammunition to keep trying, and I've been doing okay.
Well, Jonathan and Arta are sat next to each other at the main feature table, although Little has the advantage of position. Alex Colonius is the shortest stack. He has just over 1.5 million. Chris Chick is the table chip leader.
How much chips is Chris Chick's chip lead when Chris Chick leads chips? I'm gonna get it.
Just maybe not today or during this event.
That was pretty close.
Are there any short stacks over there?
Ask and you shall receive, Mr. Chick. There are 6 players at the secondary feature table, and Taylor Poor is the shorty with just over 1 million.
More like Taylor Poor. Oh, wait.
The biggest stack belongs to the overall chip leader, Alex Raymond.
Ah, so everybody hates Raymond.
With 3.6 million, he is over $1 million clear of his nearest rival, Michel Dattani. Also at this table is Dattani's compatriot Pedro Neves, Mitchell Halverson, and Allan Mello.
A real tale of the Halversons and the Halvnotsversons.
All right, day 5 continues. Blinds 25k, 50k with a 50k big blind ante. And action at the feature table will start with Artur Martirosian.
Easy. He said winning a poker tournament was easy.
Martirosian opening with King 10, raises to 100,000. Pocket 10s for Jonathan Little. He calls.
Cautious play against the under-the-gun raise.
Chris Chick and Jamil Wakil have both folded. Alex Colonius is out, heads up to the flop.
These two have become real chummy. Hate to see something bad happen here.
The flop is ace-9-4. Little is now a 4-1 favorite. Martirosian checks.
I think we could see a check back or a bet. A bet. I think we could see a bet.
It's a bet of 100,000. Martirosian calls with king high.
Interesting float here.
We go to the turn, which is the jack of diamonds, so Martirosian picks up a gut shot draw. Checks a second time.
Even though Jonathan's got the best hand, it's really hard to get value on this board.
He checks behind. The queen of diamonds, Martirosian rivers the straight.
It really is that easy.
Now he can go for value. 375,000.
And we know Jonathan does like to make the occasional hero call.
Not the best board in the world for 10s, is it?
Weak.
He folds.
Easy. Winning tournaments is easy, he says.
Martirosian increases his stack by 325,000.
Maybe I'm supposed to bluff that one.
And maybe I'm a jet pilot.
Brutal.
Over to the other table where we have an all-in and a call. Mitchell Halverson's queens dominated by the pocket kings of Pedro Neves.
Americans do not love royalty.
The flop is 10-8-7. King still good. Halverson needs a queen.
In America, our queen is a dairy.
Turn card is the 4 of clubs. Mitchell Halverson has 2 outs. The river is a 9. He doesn't hit.
GG.
He knew it. He was already out of here.
11th place finisher in the PCA main event, cashing for $112,600. And that pot moves Pedro Neves up over 4.2 million. He is now chip leader with 10 players remaining. Let's remind ourselves of the payouts for the top 10. We are into the 6-figure scores now, and the next player out will get the same as Mitchell Halverson. Then there is a money jump with every single elimination, with $1 million going to the runner-up and $1.5 million going to the winner.
We are getting dangerously close to that big, big money. I can smell it.
We're going to head back to the secondary table where it's been folded to our new chip leader, Pedro Neves.
Right.
And he's raising with Queen Jack. Queen 9 of spades for Alex Raymond.
Suited, fine. In position.
He calls on the button.
You are occasionally inviting some squeezes when you do this, though.
Well, Allan Mello has folded the small blind. Michel Dattani has folded the big blind. We go to the flop, and it's domination rotation. Top pair versus 2 pair.
Oh, come on.
Neves checks. Alex Raymond bets 115,000 as a 77% favorite.
Hope you liked having the chip lead, Neves, because, well, you're about to lose some.
calls. The turn card is the 6 of spades, pairing the board.
It feels like Neves should have more than 7% with the 2 pair and the counterfeit outs, but nope.
He's checked a second time. Raymond is betting a second time, 400,000.
I don't think Neves can get away from this until the river. Even then, not so sure.
Makes the call. We have a pot of over 1.35 million. The river is a 10, no help for Neves. He checks. Raymond checks.
Wow, not value betting there is almost an angle shoot.
Given the check back, Neves probably thought he was good there. That pot will put Raymond up to 3.9 million, and he takes back the chip lead with 10 players remaining in the PCA 2023 main event. Welcome back to the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure main event, where we've seen one of the toughest fields in history whittled down to 10. The current chip leader is Canadian pro Alex Raymond. He might not be a household name just yet, but there's something to be said for flying under the radar.
The first live tournament I played as a professional must have been in Panama. Ended up winning it, so that was a nice boost for the confidence as far as live poker goes, because being online and stuff, you kind of feel naked when you're at the table with other players rather than in front of a screen. Here at the PCA, a lot of players didn't know really who I was in the starting days. I had to put some pressure on. I know you won the last PSPC, so you can't win 2 titles in a row, right? I felt like they were playing a bit overly aggressive towards me, so hero calling down a bit later than usual, and also just adjusting to the live setting, counting everyone's chips. As an online player, I'm not as used to that, so that's a pretty big adjustment. Back when I started playing, I wasn't even dreaming of playing the real PCA, just the qualifier. I've been able to win a satellite, and now today I'm here, so it's an awesome journey and a life-changing experience to be here.
No offense to everyone else, but Canadians are the best, and it's not even close.
Back to the feature table now. Blind still 25k, 50k, with a 50k big blind ante. Martirosian first to act. Ace Jack. Raises to 100,000. Jonathan Little with Ace Queen.
Uh-oh. Saw him play pretty cautiously against the under the gun raise before. This time a little too strong.
Re-raises, 3 bets to 300,000. Alex Colonius wakes up with 10s in the big blind.
A raise, a re-raise, a big pocket pair, lots of chips out there. Time to jam.
Colonius moves all in.
Again?
It's a repeat. How much is it? my hand's a lot better this time, though.
1,505,000.
Pair or ace king, which one?
Jonathan's right. He's not going to turn up with ace jack too often here.
Little calls.
Pair.
And we're off to the races.
Like White Lotus versus the Bear. One of these two things has a slight mathematical advantage.
Jack 5-4 on the flop. 10s are holding. The turn card is an 8, and Colonius is now an 88% favorite. Just has to swerve, an ace or a queen on the river. He doubles up and survives.
Brutal flip.
I win.
You win?
Give me my card.
Yeah, you would have jammed and you would have bust me.
I had ace jack.
Why didn't you call? You would have saved me. You screwed yourself and me. You'd have all the chips right now.
Well, that pot moves Colonius up to nearly 3.2 million. He's playing more than 60 big blinds. The 36-year-old has total live earnings of $3.9 million, putting him in second place on the Greek all-time money list. His biggest score came in 2019 when he won the World Series of Poker Europe main event.
That was a big one.
Jonathan Little will be first to act this hand. He folds. Chris Chick is out. Jamil Wakil on the button has King Queen of Spades. Raises to 110,000. Pocket threes for Alex Colonius.
400.
And he three bets. Re-raises to 400,000. Artur Martirosian has forwarded the big blind. Wakil calls in position. Heads up to the flop.
A bloated 3-bet flop.
10-7-4. Threes are still ahead.
Tough to fade all the overs with pocket threes, but so far so good.
Colonius continues for 175,000. Wakil calls.
Lots of good turn cards he could hit.
Like that one. Wakil takes the lead with top pair.
Fade, fail.
Oh, wow. Colonius is not slowing down. He bets 400,000.
Seems like a pretty great spot for King Queen. Although Colonius may be up to something for the river.
Wakil calls. We have a pot of more than 2 million. As we go to the river, which is the Jack of Hearts.
Colonius gonna load up. No.
Finally applies the brakes.
All right, now for Wakil, if you want to order a value meal, you gotta choose a number.
1.25 million.
I don't think most menus go up that high. Last chance for Colonius to do something crazy.
Nah, he finds the fold.
Jamil Wakil pot.
Yeah, nice pot for Wakil. Moves up over 4 million, although he's still behind Alex Raymond, who has 4.5 million at the secondary feature table. And we're heading there now. The two Portuguese players have gone to a flop, and Michel Dattani has checked to Pedro Neves.
70.
Neves bets 70,000 with queen high. And Dattani calls with the best hand, a pair of sevens. 5 on the turn.
5, 6, 7, 8. Is that a straight? No.
Thought you were launching into a dance routine there.
210.
Neves fires a second barrel, 210,000.
Man, this is gonna hit the, wow. Didn't even have time to get it out. Neves, you savage.
Fast fall from Dattani. And Neves is back over 4 million and is vying for the chip lead.
I'm Pedro Neves. I'm from Portugal. I'm 25 and I'm a professional poker player. I started playing in 2019. Probably at the beginning of the days I'm a little bit nervous and some anxiety, but when the game starts and I'm in the zone, that's it. That's why we play tournaments. I'm having match fun this week and, well, let's see what happens.
Geez, at 25 years old, I was a professional student loan dodger.
Action is on Pedro Neves at the secondary feature table. He folds. Alex Raymond passes. Allan Mello has king 3 of hearts on the button. He has 10 big blinds.
Not a lot to count there, buddy. What's going on? Is he just playing with these?
One single column, all in. Dattani in the small blind.
How much is it?
520.
520.
He has 10s.
10's in better shape here than Jack LaLanne.
You have 8.
845.
All in.
Dattani reshoves. Taylor Poor in the big. folds.
Good luck.
Mello at risk and behind.
Not looking good.
The flop. It's Jack 6-5. Now it's looking really bad for King 3. Turn card is another Jack. Allan Mello down to 2 outs.
Ugh.
No King on the river.
Good game. Good game.
He is eliminated in 10th place.
Mello and goodbye.
Cash is for $112,600. Meanwhile, Michel Dattani is now a top 3 stack. And it is time for the final redraw of the tournament. 9 players, 9 seats on the main stage. All the remaining players will now be sat at the same table.
Very, very cool. Congrats, gang.
If you'd like to experience the excitement of playing one of our live events, find out how you can join us by heading over to PokerStars. Welcome back to the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure main event, where we're down to a single table with the $1.5 million top prize almost in reach. All players have their sights set on making it to the last day of the tournament, and having a game plan is critical.
We just got to the final table with 9 players. I have 1.2 million chips, which is about 22 big blinds. So I'm in all-in mode at this point to some extent. Someone's gonna raise, I'm gonna go all in, and we're gonna see if I can win.
I've been traveling the EPT this year, and I've had quite a few deep runs. I made a deep run in the London main event. I got 21st there. So making the final 6 is definitely on my list to accomplish.
I studied a lot, and now I feel very good in poker. I know that I'm a good player, and I feel confidence every time I'm at the table.
I'm just thinking how I should play in the next level. My goal is to think what I'm gonna do in the next hour and a half.
Playing these events for a couple of years now, and I've never made such a result.
To make the final table of the PCA main event, it's going to be a life-changing moment.
Well, get ready for it, Alex. You've made the final 9 as chip leader, with the 2 Portuguese players hot on his heels, and Jamil Wakil and Chris Chick not far behind. They're playing very deep here. Martirosian and Alex Colonius are in the bottom half of the table, but they are by no means short-stacked. Jonathan Little has 24 big blinds. The shortest stack belongs to Taylor Poor, who has just 15 big blinds. As we get back to the action with the blinds at 25K, 50K, and it will be Taylor Poor first to act here.
Now's when the real poker starts.
Folded to Chris Chick. He's out. Martirosian. Nah. Alex Colonius. Ace-8.
Kind of a letdown. All excited when you see the ace. Then just an 8 behind it. Ugh.
Lets it go. Alex Raymond has ace-queen.
Less of a letdown.
The chip leader raises to 110,000. Jamil Wakil in the cutoff. Folds. Michel Dattani is out. Jonathan Little in the small blind has ace-9.
All in.
And he shoves.
All fun and games until you get called.
Can I get the counter?
Yes, of course.
It's too bad Colonius didn't open ace-8. Jonathan might have been saved here.
1.205.
1.2.
1.205.
I don't see ace-queen getting folded.
Call.
Domination situation.
Oh, big hand.
Jonathan Little at risk and way behind.
Thinking like ace-5 suited or something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No snap, you feel pretty good?
I was pretty happy.
Yeah.
Maybe ace-10, you know, close.
Not a slow roll, but a big moment roll.
The flop is 6-5-5. Ace-queen still ahead.
Do I have a diamond? No, okay. That's not good.
Shot though.
Everyone loves a chop pot, right?
Correct.
Everyone except everyone but the player all in.
Exactly.
No, everyone.
Jack on the turn, so Little needs a 9 to win the pot outright. A 6 or a jack also saves him. But it's a blank.
All right, then.
All right, John. It's a pleasure, man.
Goodbye, have fun.
John's a little disappointed.
Denied his second PCA final table appearance. A 9th place finish worth just shy of $140,000. As Alex Raymond moves up to 5.7 million. He's almost 2 million chips clear of Michel Dattani, who's second on the leaderboard. So 8 players remaining, 2 more to lose before the day is done.
And that money keeps going up and up.
Blind still 25.50. Action on Pedro Neves with kings.
Right.
Raises to 100,000. Taylor Poor is out. Chris Chick folds. Martirosian on the button. Not going to play this one. Alex Colonius, 7 deuce in the small blind. I don't think so.
No.
Alex Raymond with ace queen again.
He has taken the more passive line pre-flop a bunch of times.
Call.
And he does just call, so heads up to the flop.
Right to play it cautious.
Oh, wow. Raymond flops huge. Trip queens.
Oh, baby.
Checks to Neves.
70.
He continues for 70,000.
Good news is there's really no wrong way to play this except to fold.
200.
A check raise to 200,000.
And I'm not sure if it's intentional, but Raymond's doing a great job of making this seem like it's nothing but chest puffing.
Neves with an overpair to the board, makes the call. We go to the turn. It's a 5. Raymond now with a full house. Checks a second time.
And I think Neves has got to slow down here. You don't want to get check raised again. It's just embarrassing.
He checks it back. And there's a king on the river. A better full house for Pedro Neves.
Holy, it is Pandemonium 2023.
Action on Alex Raymond.
How do you not lose the max?
675,000 in the middle. Raymond bets 325,000.
And Neves has a slam dunk raise here.
Question is how much?
1.8 million. 1.8 million.
He goes big.
This is super polarizing sizing, and there's really only 2 hands that could be raising for value here. 5s and kings, and what else?
King, queen?
Sure.
But in reality, hardly any hands are beating Alex Raymond. And yet somehow he finds a fold.
What? How? Why? That fold was so good it was almost bad.
Well, Pedro Neves wins the pot, but it should have been a lot bigger.
I don't know if it was a live read or what.
How on earth did Alex Raymond get away from that hand? How in the world did he fold that? Well, he still has the chip lead, although Neves has moved to within 300k of him. Taylor Port remains the short stack, 11 bigs. He's in the danger zone.
Danger zone!
And action has been folded to Martirosian. Blinds are up, by the way, 30,000, 60,000. It's now on Alex Colonius. He's out. Alex Raymond passes. Jamil Wakil has ace-7 of spades.
Suited ace, absolutely.
Guessing we'll see a raise.
120.
120,000. Pocket tens for Michel Dattani on the button. He calls in position.
Everyone playing real cautious with these pay jumps.
Pedro Neves folds the small blind. Taylor Port giving up the big blind. Heads up to the flop. Which is ace 10-5. Top pair for Wakil. A set for Dattani.
Somebody start prepping the ice packs. There's gonna be some bruising.
Wakil does not continue. Checks it to Dattani.
And look at this, Dattani building a pot already.
130,000.
And you certainly can't fold top pair right now, but you can get away in a later street.
Wakil calls. The turn card is the 4 of clubs, and Wakil is now drawing dead.
And that is not exactly a card that's going to help him literally or figuratively. It doesn't improve him, and it probably won't make him want to fold.
He checks a second time.
What a spot for Dattani. Again, gets to bet for pure value.
650,000 in the pot. Dattani makes it 450,000.
Now, Wakil eventually will have to wonder on the river what his opponent is triple barreling with.
Well, for now, he's staying in. We're going to the river, which is the jack of clubs. Wakil checks a third time.
And he's only got just above pot behind.
All in.
Michel Dattani shoves on Jamil Wakil. It is all in to call.
I don't think this is a bluff too often. Feels bad to call twice and let your chips drown, but what bluffs are there? King Jack of diamonds, Queen Jack of diamonds, other diamonds.
Wakil plays a time bank card that buys him an additional 30 seconds of thinking time. And he finally finds a fold.
Well,
Okay.
You don't need to see. You knew it, my son. You knew it all along.
Michel Dattani has reclaimed the chip lead in the PCA main event. We are 8-handed in the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure main event, and we're still seeing plenty of action, with the most recent clash putting Michel Dattani back out in front.
Wakil runs top pair into Dattani's set.
It's a hand Jamil Wakil is still thinking about.
yeah, the hand just happened. The turn was a 4, and he bet pretty big. My instinct was to fold, but because I was almost out of my time banks, it puts a constraint on how quickly you have to think. So I made the call. The river was the jack of clubs.
I'm thinking, should I shove? Should I bet a little smaller to guarantee the call? But then I thought he was a little bit polarized. He should have a lot of 2 pairs there. All in.
He went all in, and I ended up folding at the last second, and he was nice enough to tell me he had a 3-of-a-kind pocket tens. So I made the right fold in the end, but I could have saved some chips on the turn. But yeah, still in, still fighting, so that's all that matters.
Top pair can be harder to get away from than social media algorithms.
So Jamil Wakil sits in second to last place with 17 big blinds. At the other end of the table, Dattani leads Alex Raymond by just 200K. Blinds are up, 40,000, 80,000, with an 80,000 big blind ante. Ace-4 for Artur Martirosian.
Probably not quite good enough under the gun.
He folds, as does Alex Colonius. Alex Raymond is out. Jamil Wakil passes. Queen Jack for Michel Dattani.
Now this is probably good enough from the cutoff.
The chip leader raises to 160,000. Folded around to Chris Chick in the big blind. He has 8-7 off.
Yeah, sure, fine in the big blind. You got to tread lightly.
He calls. The flop. Jack 8 deuce, so it's top pair versus second pair.
Top pair is going to be feeling pretty good about this.
Chick checks. Dattani continues for 140,000.
And Chick knows Dattani would continue quite a bit here, so he could also be feeling pretty good about his hand.
He calls. We go to the turn, which is another 8. Chick now ahead with trips. He's a 95% favorite.
Feeling really good about his hand.
Checks a second time. And Dattani checks behind.
Nice pot control.
3 on the river. Chick has a lock on this.
And can probably rep a few bluffs that miss this river.
Roughly half pot, 355,000.
What did I say about top pair being tough to get away from?
Yeah, Dattani calls. And Chris Chick tables the winning hand.
Dattani having a quick word with the poker gods.
Chick now playing more than 3 million. The 35-year-old American has total live earnings at just over $1.1 million. His previous best live score was 206K. He will better that here in the Bahamas with 7th or higher.
Almost there.
Right now he's 5th on the leaderboard. Has closed the gap with Martirosian. Michel Dattani has slipped down to 2nd, which means Alex Raymond is now chip leader by default.
You guys happy for me? Or? Table dynamics for me.
Alex Colonius first to act. Folds. Alex Raymond is out. As is Jamil Wakil. Dattani not going to play this one. Pedro Neves. King 10 of diamonds in the cutoff.
A hand you're fine to open, but you really don't want to get 3-bet.
He's raised it to 160,000. Ace-5 for Taylor Poor on the button.
Maybe. Nope.
Chris Chick in the small blind, 9-7 off. Folds. Artur Martirosian in the big blind. Has the sailboats.
Probably not going to get too crazy.
He calls with pocket fours. The flop is 7-7-6, and it is practically a post-flop flip. Action checked to Neves.
Who looks like he's going to continue.
It's a C-bet of 110,000.
Neves knows he can't rep hitting this board super hard, but his opponent would often have a worse hand.
Martirosian calls. Turn card is a deuce. 4 still ahead. Martirosian now better than a 3-1 favorite. He's checked a second time.
440. 440.
And Neves bets a second time, 440,000.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop the clock. 440 into pocket fours? Coincidence? Yes, probably.
Martirosian calls. We have a pot of more than 1.5 million. And a 9 on the river. Martirosian still good.
A little late for diamonds.
Checks a third time.
Probably really hoping for a check back.
$1.1.
Doesn't get it. Neves betting 1.1 million.
Neves completing the triple Lindy. Martirosian can pick this off, it's going to be a huge swing.
Martirosian folds the best hand.
It's always coming Neves.
He adds 830k to his stack there. Gets the better of Martirosian.
Not an easy thing to do.
And moves up to 5.24 million. Closes the gap on Dattani and Raymond. Meanwhile, Martirosian has slipped down to 5th in chips.
Every single pot has real money implications at this stage. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Chris Chick under the gun here. He passes. Martirosian with another pocket pair, this time 9s.
Very strong hand, and one you really can't get away from if someone plays back at you at this stage.
Raises to 160k. Colonius. Out. Raymond. Out. Wakil. Out. Is this going to be raise and take it? No. Taylor Paul with ace-king.
Oh.
He shoves. And chances are he's getting called.
Count.
Martirosian having par covered here is going to be a major factor, especially when he finds out it's better than 2-1.
The count has been verified.
Still just a huge moment. You hate to run into 10s or jacks here.
Martirosian calls, and there is a classic race underway.
Worth hundreds of thousands in real money equity.
Taylor Paul's PCA life on the line. Jack 8-4 on the flop. Paul is in need of an ace or a king. 5 on the turn. 6 outs for the American. He doesn't hit. And we are down to 7.
Frustrating for things to come down to a coin flip, but that is poker.
Artem Martirosian eliminates Taylor Paul in 8th place.
Good game, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
Good luck, guys.
Take care.
Great to see Taylor again. It had been a while.
It's his best ever result at the PCA, worth nearly $182,000. Well, talking of great results, Artem Martirosian's made his fair share of final tables in the last couple of years. These are his 3 best finishes, but he's amassed more than $4 million in live earnings around the world.
It's wild.
And Arthur is guaranteed to add at least 236k to those earnings. A reminder, we are now 1 elimination away from being down to 6 and being done for the day. Lines are up again, 50,000, 100,000. Chris Chick first to act. He folds. Martirosian is out. Ace-Jack for Colonius.
Allan.
He shoves.
Ooh, this is for not much at all.
Round to Michel Dattani. He folds. Pedro Neves with ace-7 suited. Calls. It's a domination situation, and Colonius is set for a double-up.
The old courtesy double-up in the big blind. Not even an 8 big blind shove.
The flop is 10-9-7, domination rotation.
It is always coming Neves.
Turn card is a 4. Jack or an 8 needed for Colonius to survive. The river is a 10. Colonius is KO'd.
Yeah, man.
Game.
And that will do it for day 5.
A good game and a good escape from the table. Leave that crime scene behind.
Colonius walks away with $236,500, and the PCA main event final table is set. And as a result of that hand, Pedro Neves will be chip leader tomorrow.
A Neves for 7.
Michel Dattani understandably happy to make it to the final day. This is Chris Chick's first ever cash outside of the USA. What a run for him. And EPT champion Artem Martirosian will be hoping to claim his second major live title.
Great session for Alex Raymond, who's been battling for the chip lead all the live-long day. And it's all smiles for the short-stack squeaker, Jamil Wakil.
Confirmation that Pedro Neves sits at the top of the leaderboard. Alex Raymond right behind him, followed by Artem Martirosian, Michel Dattani, and Chris Chick. Meanwhile, Jamil Wakil is going to have his work cut out for him, playing just 7 big blinds. Next time, we crown a champion in the PCA main event.
That was a huge pot.
Yeah, very big pot.
What do you guys think?
Call and see the flop. My crew is bigger.
The mood may be light, but the stakes are serious.